Hello there, my name's Claire. Welcome back to my channel. For this week's video, I am going to be doing 3 apartments in one unit. This is a large apartment in the world of San Myshuno, and I wanted to make it into 3 smaller apartments. There are both 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, and there is one like studio apartment. So right now we're working on the front foyer area, kind of like the root of the tree, and then like the rooms are the different branches of the tree. So I did want to add a laundry area that is a shared space because I had this like empty room that didn't have any windows, and I feel like the best use for a space like this would be like a utility closet of some sort. And so we are just going to be adding some washers and dryers, obviously, but I do get rid of one of the washers to be replaced with a like electrical box from the for rent pack. I heard that you can now like rent out parts of your apartment. Like you can basically be a landlord and like be in like one of these apartments, and you couldn't do that, but you can now. And I actually haven't tested it to see for myself if it works, but I still wanted to do an apartment like this. I've actually done an apartment where it's like 3 apartments in like one area, and I wanted to do it again. So we are now in the first unit, which is the studio apartment, and so we're just going to be starting off in the kitchen because I feel like the kitchen was like the trickiest part of this particular unit, and I wanted to make sure that this part I got right first. And so we are just going to be adding a Murphy bed. If you saw my last week's video, I used a Murphy bed because I made a hotel in air quotes because we don't have hotels quite yet, but I honestly feel like we're pretty close to getting hotels, so keep our fingers crossed for hotels. I would also love to see like a castle themed expansion pack. It could be like a French world feel, and there could be like a city festival, kind of like in the world of Samashuna, where they have like the city festivals, but instead of it being like the Spice Festival or like the Art Festival, it could be like a Renaissance fair. I would really love to see that, and I feel like it would be a good mix of like new world, old world, just because like when you try to play with like a medieval family in The Sims 4, they're bound to pull out their cell phones at one point when you're playing. And so I feel like having like a Renaissance festival would be a great idea to like have still that like feel of a Renaissance festival or a medieval world. So we are just going to be adding some rugs into the living or the kitchen, and I do add a rug into the living room slash bedroom. Another idea for this make believe Sims 4 pack would be for like if your Sims pull out their phone during the medieval festival, they like get beaten up. And I really think like this would be a cool idea for like archery to get implemented into the game. One of my favorite book series is the Ranger's Apprentice series, and I would love to like have some sort of Sims 4 archery because of this pack. There's a lot of archery that goes in this book. So we are just going to be decorating some of the little cubbies on the bookshelf feature and going to be decorating the kitchen. I kind of went back and forth a lot because I was distracted since it is such a small space with it being separated into 3 units. And I did try to like make it obvious that there are 3 units by using 3 different colors of floor, and it is the same floor, it's just in 3 different swatches. So if you're wondering which unit you're in, you can obviously just look at the floor, or if you don't want to play in this apartment and you just want to look at the screenshots, it will also be easy to tell which apartment you're in based off of the flooring I have in there. So we are going to be adding some plants into the corner and making a little, I say, a nook for the toilet in the corner, and then like the big area for the tub shower combo and the sink. I do have a large space in the middle, so your Sims won't be able to get tripped over anything. Your Sim stuff hopefully won't get trapped in this bathroom by any of the items I place down. So we are just going to be adding all the fine little decorations onto this bathroom, and we're kind of finishing up this unit, and I hope everybody is having a happy August. I just got back from a family reunion, and that was kind of the inspiration for my last week's video, is to do a cabin hotel, and I'm actually haven't left yet for that family reunion, but I am excited. And if you have any build suggestions for me, make sure to leave them down in the comments below, because that's the best way to communicate if you want to see something specific from me. Do need to figure out a better way to like get notified, because I sometimes just kind of like, oh, notification and then notification, notification, notification. I just like swipe out of all of them at the same time without like taking the time to like look at every single message. But mostly my messages are just like, oh, would you like to sign up for the credit card on for your email? And I'm like, no, this seems like a scam. So we are going to be now in the second apartment, and I made this one dark and light. I did used to have a series on my channel. I didn't really do it too much, but I wanted to have a series where it's black, white, and fill in another color, like black, white, and pink, black, white, and purple. And so I wanted to kind of test the waters with this theme again, and I did a black, white, and gray apartment for this unit. I really did just want to have like the different units feel unique to one another or different from one another. So I wanted this one to be like super modern with like minimalist. So we are just going to be adding a artwork on the back wall where the living room couch is, but that wall can easily fit one of the like painting swatches that come with city living. So we are going to be working on a little dining room space. Each of these units can fit up to 2 Sims, and so it is a perfect little like couples spot. So we are just going to be adding a few decorations into this darker apartment, and the darker apartment was really inspired by the floors, because I wanted to make sure it was easy to have the like visually see like, okay, this is a different apartment than the next one over. So we are now in the bathroom, and this is a very skinny bathroom. Like the bathroom in the first unit was very more square shaped. This is more rectangle shaped. So it was fun to do a different design for each of these bathrooms in each of these units, because just the space of the apartment, or like the whole apartment in the entire was kind of like not a perfect square, so kind of helped give some creative direction to like not having a perfectly square apartments in each of these units. So we are going to be adding some pictures and going to be finishing up this bathroom with a picture over the towels, and now we are just going to be adding a plant in the corner. Just a very simple apartment. I was trying to go for like a minimalist perfectionist in this apartment, so we are just going to be using some items from the for rent pack. So we are going to be using these curtains, and the cool thing about these curtains is that there's an extra little piece that looks like it extends, but the rest of the curtain is like pulled back. And I really liked that feature because I wanted to have the bed in front of the window, but I feel like having white walls on a white curtain just looked a little too bland, and so having like a little peekaboo of the cityscape behind the bed, I feel like was a really nice feature for this room. And now we're just going to be adding that electrical box into the utility room slash laundry room. And now we're going to be adding some more details into the bedroom, and this area turns out pretty simple, especially having a color scheme where it's just three colors. I feel like it really helped with the like options I could choose from, just being like, okay, I know I want to stick to this color scheme. Let's see what options we have. So now we are in the third and final unit, and this one I was imagining would be for a couple who are possibly just like living here for a short term, possibly like this is their first apartment, and so they want to be fun. This is like their own creative moment, and so they want to be like, hey, let's paint the cabinets blue, let's expose this brick wall. So we are going to be working on a little living space for them right off of the kitchen. I feel like this apartment is almost feels like the smallest apartment out of the three of them. Maybe it evens with the studio apartment. So we are just going to be adding a nice little furry rug onto the couch and going to be adding some side tables. I feel like having the tiny living pack really made sense for this area because it is a tiny apartment. So we are going to be adding some other items from base game and going to be adding a plant in the corner. I did try to make this apartment something more easy for you to add your own design style to. So we're just going to be adding some front door mats and going to be adding a nice little dining area kind of like on this hallway going to the bathroom. Sorry, I forgot the word for a second. To the bathroom, and I feel like this just made sense to have like a eating area because it's like, what else are you going to do with the space? You could also put a picture painting mural on this wall and then find another space for the dining table. But I feel like this was just like the best space. It felt like still a part of the room, but like kind of more out of the way, and your Sims won't trip over it, and it just has a good flow. So here's me adding that brick wall, and I didn't really do a Americana video for the month of July. I was planning on it, but for the 4th kind of snuck up on me, so this is kind of a little delayed version of a Americana build, but I did make a YouTube short, so if you haven't seen that yet, you can go onto my channel to find that. And now we are in the bedroom. I wanted to have a nice like bed that matched the curtains, and so we're going to be making a little desk space. I did forget to add like a computer into the black and white apartment, but I was kind of also mentioning that would be like for an older couple, so we are going to be finding some side tables for the bedroom and going to be reusing these curtains and going to be adding a dresser. And I do change the color of the dresser and the desk to be a white color. I feel like it just looks a little off next to this like more warmer tone wood. So that is changed during the screenshot, and you'll obviously see it soon. So we are going to be finding some decorations for the side tables, and we are getting close to the end of the video. We're just going to be heading into this unit's bathroom. So if you enjoyed watching, please make sure to give this video a big like, and if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button. It means so much to me, those who have already subscribed. I am a very small content creator here, and I appreciate every single person that hits the subscribe button. So I hope to see you next week for another SimStar video, and if you have any build suggestions for me, make sure to leave them down in the comments, and I hope to see you all next week for another Sims 4 video. Bye!